Welcome to the Dogon Podcast. This is going to be a good episode. We are getting closer and closer to our packs getting here, and I can't wait, man.
Yeah, I mean, we almost have all the packs here, all three. How many was it? 3,000?
3,000 on the first run. They already got another 6,000 going for us, but they are looking at redoing that mold and seeing how much that would cost to redo the mold and do the whole thing recycled plastic.
Yeah, so, that'd be sick.
Yeah, he was like, it would be extremely expensive, and I was like, well, can we still take a look at it?
Yeah.
You know, I want to take a look at it because the cost per unit would pretty much be the same, but I think the value of using recycled plastic would be sweet.
Definitely, because, I mean, getting rid of plastic bottles in the vitamin graveyard, as well as being able to melt them down and then turn them into a pack, would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, that would just be awesome. And of course, you know, I did start the process talking to him about a couple different metal packs and getting those ready for the founders packs. And I talked to another company, a local company, a casting company, about getting that started as well. With them, it's like $300 to get that mold made, the original mold made, and then they'll do, you know, they'll like run the mold and fill it, and then we can determine whether or not we like it or not.
Right.
But yeah, that particular company is really cool. They do like badges and stuff for police and for fire and for like really everybody who's got like a really nice badge. So if you've ever looked at a police officer's badge up close, not like one of those stitch-on ones, but like
a real one.
Yeah, real badge. They're actually really intricate and nice.
Yeah.
You know, some of them aren't as intricate.
Yeah, some of them suck, but some of them are actually like real police badges that look like fucking from the movies and shit.
Yep. And this company specializes in that. They do a lot of badges for different precincts all around the country, specifically in Texas. But so we're really looking at them just because they can do any type of gold, they can do any type of silver, they can do, you know, really fancy inlays, and, you know, like where it's kind of like a featured surface, you know. So I'm definitely excited about that.
I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to have plenty of founders packs for you people, and I don't know.
We'll probably release those after probably not quite a year, but probably, you know, right around a year from our launch date is when we'll get those founders packs out and get those to our original orderers and our original alpha pack members. If you haven't gone to dogonpacks.com and you haven't signed up to join the pack yet, I would encourage you to do that right away. We're giving away a whole bunch of free stuff, free t-shirts, all that kind of good stuff.
Right.
But you can also just become an alpha pack member by purchasing any one of our Go packs, and it's just going to automatically pop you on. Do you think we've clearly explained what an alpha pack member is yet?
Perhaps. I can't remember, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the list is getting longer and longer because we want to make it like really cool. So like now I have this little pop-up thing that comes up and it's like, sign up for an alpha pack member, and it's like you get a free t-shirt, one of every product we ever make for free, one of every merch item that we ever make for free, you know, discounts.
That's if you buy it's if you buy any Go pack at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to be an alpha pack member. To get that free t-shirt, you know, you have to have a
35 plus.
Yep, 35 plus purchase. But there's been a couple of you that have bought single pack. We're sending you t-shirts anyways.
Right.
You know, I mean, we don't really care. I just had somebody message me too and was like, man, I really need this. I'm a single dad and running nonstop with kids, 2 different directions all the time. And man, as soon as I can afford this, I'm buying it.
Right.
And
I mean,
and I messaged him back and I said, give me your address. I'm sending you some out for free.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some free ones.
I don't care, man. I mean, you got 2 kids, single dad, run it. I'll just
need some energy.
We're going to send him like 2 6-packs. We'll give him, you know, and not beer. We're talking about our Go packs, but maybe we'll send him.
I could do a 6-pack right now.
Yeah, maybe we'll send him a 6-pack of beer too. A single dad,
right?
Give him something to crack, you know. But that actually pivots me into what I'm doing today, what I'm starting today. What I started yesterday. I started a 100-day challenge of insanity. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. every day. I'm going to follow my schedule every day, which my schedule isn't something light. You know, it's like every 20 minutes I'm going to something new. It's like run, yoga, meditate, legs up the wall, prayer time, journal time, you know. Then it's like, then I go through my whole curriculum. I've got like several different books and workbooks I'm going through. I go through my whole curriculum. Then I go through my #1 Dogon Packs focus. And then I do my Dogon Packs whiteboard, which is like my weekly stuff that I'm accomplishing. And I just get things set up for each day that I'm going to be working on them. And then it just goes on and on and on from there, you know. So it's like I have a contract with a law firm, so I have to spend a considerable amount of time in my day working on that stuff. So I kind of pivot to that for a little bit, and then I jump right back in the Dogon in the late afternoon. But it's going to be wild. But part part of that 100-day challenge is I'm going to stop drinking for good. I've stopped
more
cannabis. I've stopped.
No more weed.
Nicotine.
No more nicotine.
But I am going to drop, and it's not like I drink a lot. I have one tall beer at the end of the day when I'm done with like my push of work, like when I get all my stuff done. I don't know. It's just, that was something that was programmed into me when back in my Quicken Loans days. I'd be selling loans all day and I'd be like, we'd go to docks and just down some beers and that was it. I don't know. So that's going to be difficult, but it's going to be fine.
Right.
It is what it is.
It'll be good. It'll be great even.
Yep.
I think you'll have more of a clear mind.
I don't know. It'll make me get more done, I think, in this little gap period I have in my afternoon to my evening. Because I always drink a little bit earlier, like, just before 5, I'll have one beer so that I can drink enough water, eat, and usually do a second workout in the day. So when I go to bed, I'm not like, I don't have a bunch of alcohol sitting in me. Right. You know what I mean? I get it all out of my system and still get that reward each day of like, oh, crack my beer and sit back, I don't know. I'm going to have to give myself a different reward now. I don't know what that's going to be, but
I don't know. Maybe a donut or something.
Yeah, a donut.
It's better than alcohol.
Right? Yeah, but hey, the next one I'm kicking after alcohol is sugar.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why I'm doing it, but I just want to see how far I can go. I want to see how far I can push myself and see how clear I can get my mind.
Yeah. It is after quitting nicotine, and I don't really drink that much. I don't really do as much weed as I used to. I don't know, having a clear mind definitely helps with business, with, just everything you're doing. I do fall back to needing something every once in a while, but, just getting on the other side of that and just pushing it away has been helping me mentally, I guess.
Yeah, for me, like, something my mom coaches on, growing up with your parents and, specifically, mom and dad giving you influence. My mom coaches on being in spirit versus in ego. And it's about like denying oneself, like denying your ego and always trying to operate from like a God mind perspective. Like if God was looking in on this situation of me dealing with this person, what would God do? Right. Or God was living my day, would God be worried about what's happening tomorrow or next week? And it's, to me, I call it God flow, where you're just kind of in this flow of like you're doing work, you're doing what you're supposed to, and then you get these little cues and these little pushes to go in certain directions and look at certain things or think about something. And when you're really in the zone like that, you can kind of lock into like this super conscious mind and this creativity to be able to accomplish like anything.
Yeah, you just got to get rid of the I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that, and then just think about like, what do I need to do? I'm going to do it, and then just start doing it even if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is doing it when you really don't want to.
It's not easy, but I've noticed when you start it, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, we're such, humans, the way we are when we operate through any type of task is once we get started in something, we can usually kind of forget that we didn't want to do it, which is so funny. Like,
yeah, and you could just keep doing it.
So I'm trying to, keep this focus of like being in spirit. And I've noticed a couple times when I've had a drink or I smoked in the past or something like that, even though it like gave me a little bit of relaxation or made me feel good for a moment, ultimately I'm like, man, I wish I was just back in spirit and in this chill, focused zone. I don't really need this. This is just distracting me now from what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And it's like the last 5 times that I've been like, I'd rather just not do this. I got to remember when I'm like, oh, I need a beer. I just want to drink a beer real quick. I got to remember, you don't want that because it slows you down for 2 hours and you want to get other stuff done and then you don't feel good about that.
You can't.
Yeah. Well, you can try, but it's just not.
I got really hammered the other night, actually.
On 2 White Claws, by the way.
Yeah, 2 of them.
I just want to. Hey, they were talls.
I stopped for a while. I didn't do any alcohol for like 2 weeks. But anyway, I was trying to.
Well, I just want to clarify, when you say hammered, I mean 2 White Claws. So he's not like slamming a bottle here or something.
I'm not an alcoholic by any means, but
we know now because of the 2 White Claws putting you down.
But I went to go edit, and it was actually disastrous. I couldn't actually click on the things that I was trying to click on. I was naming things the wrong things, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to sit down for a minute and see if I can gain my consciousness back, because this just isn't going right. And I'm going to be like, what the fuck was going on whenever I'm come to,
And so if you're seeing one of our episodes and you're like, what the fuck is it? It's probably just White Claw Wednesday,
something. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. But no, it's very rare. Like like I said, we are probably the two least people to be concerned about alcohol, but we still recognize what the key part of what he said was getting your consciousness back.
Yeah.
You know, once you're in a place where you're calm and you're purpose driven and you're focused on something that's bigger than you and that means more than you, when you are not fully conscious, when you are using a substance to like deviate from that consciousness, you pick it up in a negative way. Even though you're having a good time, even though you feel good, you still like recognize it as like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know, and you don't get down on yourself because it's like one beer. There's, you know, it's not a big deal. It's like, who cares? But, you know, when you want to really try to like level up as high as you can and get to a point where, I mean, because we're kind of like under the gun here, you know, I mean, I'm checking our tracking number constantly to see if we have our packs, if they're going to show up like right now.
I'm excited.
I don't know. We feel the need to be dialed in and not be all over the place or not be like, oh, we forgot to do that or, oh, we didn't get that set up. You know, we can't afford that right now. We have to make sure that we are on point because the time between different things that are going to be happening here over the next month is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, you know, and it's like, do this, do that, do this, do that, you know, and it's like, man, I mean, everything, just signing up for everything. I mean, just getting all the MCF and
sign up for like 100,000 different websites and then get an account set up and make sure it all looks good. And
then you're dealing with non-existent Square customer service.
I know.
Guys, we won't go too far into that, but I'm banned from calling customer service on Square. It was so funny. And they like told on me by like emailing Tristan. Like,
yeah, I think they're a bunch of babies.
Because Alex was upset. It's like, well, I got stuff waiting in custom where I can't change a credit card number with the company because I already did it. They don't have somebody sitting there running that credit card. They're trying to pay a tax and to get the product shipped to UPS so that UPS can take it and get it to me. And I can't get a $19 charge to go through because my account is locked and Square doesn't have any customer service representatives available on the weekend.
Yeah, that is strange.
Like, it's a business debit card. Like, I need to be able to use that.
Like, all right, I guess I'll just wait.
You know, and then after that, it was like every one of our like accounts and stuff and all of our subscriptions were like, didn't go through. And I'm like checking the account. I'm like, yeah, there's plenty of money in there. Like, why? What are they doing? You know, so it's like, we're looking at, you know, going to Novo Banking, or if you guys have any suggestions on
a better one, maybe.
on a you know, business bank account. We, you know, I've thought about just going to Chase or going to, you know, but it's like, there's so many fees, there's so many layers of rules and,
there's
you
a
know,
bunch of different stuff that, I mean, Chase, I've always used them for banking, but it's not my favorite.
I've used Chase, I used Chase for a while, and then I kind of got into it with them a few years ago when I had a savings account and I closed it. Or no, I was going to close it, but there was only like $7 in it. Yeah. And I was like, I'll just come back and, you know, maybe I'll put money in that account again or something, you know, and I left it. And then 2 years later, I get a bill from Chase saying I owe like $141
for what?
And I'm like, yeah, that's that. I was like, what do you? And they're like, overdraft fees, you know, service fees, and I'm like, I had $7 in there, and they're like, yeah, but $3 every 6 months, and then the last one puts you into overdraft, and then you had two more overdraft.
if you don't have money coming in, they will charge you all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and they just like literally depleted my account into negative, and then kept charging me like $3 every 6 months, and then charging me $35. And I was like, I don't. And I finally got it, you know, fixed when I got on the phone with somebody. I was like, you know, it's a savings account. There's no active way for me to withdraw funds that are, you know, beyond what are in there.
Yeah.
So any funds that have been withdrawn have been without my permission. You can't just drive somebody's account further and further into negative with, you know, like there's laws and rules that protect people in banking.
It was a savings account, right?
Yeah, yep, savings.
Taking money from it?
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Crazy.
$3 every 6 months for like a service fee.
Ever had a savings account deplete in money without me being the deciding factor?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, how is that possible? It's like, I didn't even have like an ATM card where I could have like accidentally but you can't overdraft a savings, like that's the whole thing. I was just like, this doesn't make sense, you know? And so finally they were like, well, we can get it reduced to 25. And I was like, no.
No, I'm not paying.
I was like, and the way it ended, I was like, as a matter of fact, I want my $7.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? They were like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah. And they finally did. And they sent me a check for like $7.26 because I was like, no, I was like, that's unacceptable to me. I was like, if it was a checking account, totally get it. You know,
right,
you could act like it
doesn't make any, you can't, there's no card linked to your savings account.
There's no charges.
The whole point is to save your money, not actually deplete it by $100.
Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, and I got nothing against them. Like I said, Chase handled it pretty well once I actually got on the phone. It's like a computer thing. They were just like,
Yeah.
you know, and then I got the mail outs and it was like, what's going on? But yeah, I mean, you know, some banks, you know, handle things the right way. Some companies do. Like, you know, I always say this too, like culturally, I'm a little bit more explicit, you know, and Irish culture is known for their bit of a temper and a bit of a more explicit communication style. And some people can say that's, you know, going back to all the way back to Ireland. Some people can say that's, you know, when they came here and they were at Ellis Island and they were in New York, they were treated like subhuman. You know, a lot of them weren't able to get a job. They weren't allowed to be in certain parts or certain nice parts of restaurants or bars. You know, it was, people don't realize that the Irish were really pushed down in society, but a lot of it was because of the fact that they said they were a little bit too rough around the edges with how they communicated. So like rubbed people the wrong way and they were a little too aggressive sometimes. And so I understand that, but when I talk to companies sometimes when I'm mad, I have the tendency to curse. And to me, it's like, it's 2024, okay? Curse words are a part of our everyday life.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't necessarily offend me in any way.
Now, I don't think it's okay in any way to use a curse word towards somebody. Like to call somebody like you're like, I would never do that. I don't do that to customers. I would expect to be hung up on if I ever called somebody a curse word or cursed at somebody. But if I say, this is fucking ridiculous, I'm just fucking pissed, that shouldn't be like, we're disconnecting this call. You know, like that's just ridiculous. And there's been some companies, I just spoke to Walmart today. It was crazy. I went into Walmart right at opening, go to leave, and my dog Hattie, she pissed off the mat, and I was so mad. I was like, I need to get this spray because I don't like any type of like animal smell. I just hate it, so I just want to get rid of it. And so I go there. It's like they open right at 6. I get in there, boom. You know, I have to go to like the far entrance, and I had to open up the exit door. And I know that from Sam's, like you know, before they have it open, they have the exit door open, so you can just manually open it for the employees. So I go there, I get in, and it's 6. It's not like I'm breaking in. It's like 6:08. I get my stuff, and I go out, and I go to the other exit, and the first door works for me to go out, and then the doors don't work to exit. And then I try to go back in, and those doors don't work. And I'm like, so I'm like trapped in between the two doors. And there's employees waiting outside trying to get into, and they're like trying to open. They walk to the other door. There's more customers coming, like trying to get into that door, and it's not open. And so then like I like walk back. There's like nobody there. So I'm like stuck in between these two doors trying to leave. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I know how to open up emergency, but I'm not going to do all that. And so I go back and I like turn the switch on for the automatic door. I see it over to the side, turn the switch on for the automatic door to get back into the store, but I can't find the one to get out. I feel them, and you know, like they have that bar on top. Usually it's a button right on top. You can just,
there's
and it turns on.
Switches and stuff.
But there was no switch on these ones. The switch was off to the side of the door when the guy came and opened it, and then I saw that. But yeah, so I was able to get the ones to go back in, and then I go back in, and I'm like, you know, hey, can I leave? And she was like, you're gonna have to go to that other door all down there. And I was like,
damn.
I was like, it's 6:12. I was like, I'll just wait till this door opens. I'm patient. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till this door opens. And she was like, give me your receipt. I know you didn't pay for your stuff. And I was like, what?
Bitch.
I was like, what?
Hold on a minute.
I was like,
now I'm gonna start saying curse words. Damn it.
I was like, hey. I was like, I'm patient. I'm not trying to cause problems. I said, I'll just wait. I was like, I thought she was walking to open it. So I was like, trying to be cool. Like, yeah, I'm not in any hurry. I don't care. And she's like, no, give me your receipt. You're not leaving. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, then go get a manager. I was like, I'll sit here, wait, I'll chill. It'll be fine. I was like, no worries. Goes and gets a manager. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Can we open the door? Thank you. Like, you know, like.
Why did you bring me out of my office?
And so like, and then this other woman is like, giving me all these like looks and faces and you know, and she's like, this is ridiculous. And he's like, please just go open the door. You know, like this is ridiculous that you guys are like not letting, you know, and I'm like, and I didn't grab my receipt. I never hit the thing. So it's sitting on the machine. And he's like, well, you don't have your receipt. And I was like, you can go look in the machine. Here's the last four of my credit card. You can look it up. I was like, I paid for everything. I ain't worried about it. $28. You know, this is all I have. Boom. And he was like, I'm not worried about it either. So that was pretty good. But, you know, as I'm leaving, that woman was like saying stuff to me, like, you know, like mouthing off to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just trying to.
She's just mad that you didn't get caught.
Well, she's just mad. Well, yeah, she's mad that she had to like open a door 15 minutes after they were already open. And at this point, there's like people outside the door waiting. It should have
been open already.
It should have been for fire reasons. I mean, well, like,
I know.
Like I was trapped in there for a minute.
I don't know. At Sam's Club, the door would always be open right as they needed it open.
Yep, you have to.
That was never an issue.
Yeah, I know. Like, and I was like cool about it because I know how that is. I was like, hey, no rush, no worry. I'll just chill. Like, it's fine. My car's literally like 5 feet outside the store. I'd rather just wait. It's not a big deal. And so then the manager like looks at me like, and I'm like, he's like, call corporate. And I was like, call corporate. Like, okay, you know. So I call corporate, and I'm like, hey, this guy told me to, and they're like, yes, thank you so much for calling. We heard about, like, so he already like notified somebody. So that was pretty cool. And she was like, explained it to me, and I was like, look, I don't want to fucking get anybody in trouble. I was like, this is not. I was like, I don't give a fuck. And she was like, do you remember their names? I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going to tell you anybody's fucking names. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about any of that. I just, you know, I didn't like the retaliation of like, oh, I'll just wait till you open the door. Show me your receipt. And it was like, they didn't care about my receipt before until I wanted like the door open. And I was like, and so I was like cursing when I was talking to this woman, and she's like laughing. And I was like, you know, the customer service lady on the phone, and I'm like, thank you for being so cool with me cursing. And she's like, you didn't curse at me, honey. And I was like, I know. I was like, but so many companies, she's like, I know. They'll be like, I'm disconnecting the call. And it was just,
they can't handle. They're like babies.
I know. It was just cool that this woman was like a normal human being. And so I like downplayed it, made sure like, no, nobody, like I don't care. But apparently there was some type of issue with one of the women there who was like who wouldn't open the door. And it looked like this manager was having issues with her being insubordinate and stuff. So like he was looking for like backup or something. I don't know. But either way, I was like, hey guys, I'll come in. I'll do a personality communication training for him, just let alone like not being aggressive towards somebody. Like, I don't know. It was just, and I was laughing with the guy by the end, and it was all good, but it was just an interesting interaction. And to have it go differently, like Square the other day, like they locked our account, couldn't give me any service, couldn't help me at all. And they were like, you're upset. We're never going to help you in customer service again. And then for Walmart to be like, you're upset. That's totally cool. We get it. I'm sorry that we caused it. And it was just like, wow, thank you. Like it's good to see when a company does something right. And I'm waiting for Square to kind of correct themselves here. I don't know about you.
I don't know if they will, but I've just already decided that I don't want to go with them anymore. So
I know. Well, when we're stuck with them for a little bit, and when our transfers,
I know that,
when our transfers start coming in, they're going to be like, hey, you guys are also like,
hey, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're going to change their tune. That'll be funny. But I think one of my things that I'm working on too is I have the need to hold people to the same level of accountability that they hold me to. I think that's something that makes a lot of people uncomfortable in my life. And I was talking to Tristan about this the other day, and maybe he can reflect on this a little bit more. But yeah, like I will give people miles if they give me miles. I will give people, a million chances. Even if they don't give me a million, I'll give people a million chances. But if somebody is going to nitpick or try to hold me to a certain level, I'm going to expect that that's what they want as well. So I'm going to be like, hey, you said you're going to do this, now you're doing that. You said this, and then this happened. And apparently that makes people really uncomfortable, makes people mad.
Yeah, it does.
And I know I can be harsh sometimes. I used to be too soft, and maybe I'm too harsh now, but I want people to be like that with me.
Yeah.
I want people to tell me how it is. Like don't just smile and nod to my face. People are like, well, you get really mad. Well, yeah, because you lied to me for 3 weeks about it, and then I had to force it out of you for you to bring it up. It's like, why were you smiling in my face for 3 weeks lying? Right. That's what upsets me. It's because it's like all this time I've been bugging you and you didn't say anything. Just tell me, but maybe you guys can help out. Maybe I can have some people from the past. That's another thing to me why communication is so important. And if you're going to like go different directions from a company or people, or if you're going to stay working with people, I think you need to have an open dialogue of how that interaction is going, how that synergy is taking place.
Yeah.
But I know Tristan's been on the receiving end of some of my snaps. I don't know what he thinks. I mean, maybe you can just speak on it. Just, call me out, tell me how it is, just be real.
I don't think there's any issues. I don't have any problems. I'm very easygoing. I don't know. I just don't take things personally.
Wrong guy to ask. I got to find somebody who's a dick.
I just don't care about a lot of things in my life, and I just kind of just brush it off my back, and it's like, whatever.
Yep.
Life is still going.
Yeah. I mean, I do think I'm at least pretty quick to like recognize, hey, I'm being a little too hot, but I'm just trying to say this. Like, do you think I pull out of that quick enough, or do you think I need to like get quicker on my calm down?
I mean, it's been a lot better since you've quit nicotine. I mean,
so much better.
You don't really snap as easily. You don't.
I snap with like a jokingness of like, but man, nicotine, you're right. I'd be like, what the?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't care about a lot, honestly. So it's just not really an issue to me.
No, yeah, that's good. So yeah, maybe I can get some of my enemies to let me know. I got a couple close friends. I got a young lady, not a young lady. I mean, but gosh, she looks like she's young. I don't even know how old she is, but she's impressive. And I'm helping her with her, like every woman I know is like, I hope I look like Claudette when I'm older. Like every single one. They're like, I hope I look 10% as good as Claudette looks, and it's just so funny. But I'm working on her website for her and, putting that together, still waiting on some feedback from her. She's somebody in my life where I can be like, hey, tell me this. Am I wrong on this? Am I out of line? Am I out of step? I even want to give her myself, like I have like 70 self-evaluation questions. I want to give her those and be like, can you see if my answers are accurate, or am I lying to myself anywhere? Am I, not being transparent with my behavior insecure? Am I, being too nice to myself? Because she's somebody who'll be like, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And so you got to try to find those people, I think, in your life that can tell you the difficult things and can risk their, the way that you look at them and risk the relationship in order for you to get the benefit of truth.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's a big deal. And that's something I've been seeking out more and more and more and more, and I ask my friends, like, am I crazy? Am I this? Am I nuts? Am I, am I too excited about this? Am I too focused on this? Am I blind to all of these things, and a lot of times it's like, no, but it's like, I don't know if people are just being nice or not. Because I used to do that. I used to be nice and just...
Yeah. I mean, I personally I think everything's fine. I think you're doing fine. I don't think there's any... I think a lot of the say when stuff has got you a little off track mentally or something, because...
Yeah, that hurt, man.
I know you put a lot more work into them than I ever did, but man, they're just stupid. Like, forget about them.
Yeah, I know. And that's one thing I was reflecting on in my journal yesterday was I need to let go of things that I cannot control.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had this thing in my head, like, I can't let go of this because nobody over there will talk to me. Nobody will give me, like, they went from smiling in my face, talking to me every day, multiple times a day, joking, me, making them breakfast and, giving them freebies and all this other stuff, like every day, just like me, just really putting effort out, driving them home from the bar every night, getting texts at 2 a.m., driving out, taking them all home, then stopping by food.
But I just knew the character of these people, and I never expected anything from them as much as I wanted from them. I would never expect that. It's just, they're shitty people and they're gonna do shitty things.
Yeah, see, I always see the good in people, so I was like, these guys are awesome. They're a family that's been through a rough time.
I've been let down too much by thinking good of way too many people that are not good.
So that is a good balance and a good dynamic we have here in business, because man, that's going to protect us from me moving forward. Being like, no, these guys are awesome, and you're like, well, I don't know, man. Let's look at this though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very closed off to people if I don't see the good in them.
Yeah, and it's like, which side of the coin is better?
Right.
We don't know. Maybe it's a balance. Maybe it's the in between, and that's why this is working out the way that it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's been wild. I think you hit it right on the head. The say when stuff really really has got me off my game. It hurt me, and it's confusing to me.
I don't think it's anything that is weird to feel or strange. It's just like, man, these people are shitty and they've hurt me. I mean, I guess I got to get over it.
Yeah, you're right. And hey, see, that's the honesty I need. He's like, he knows that I'm upset about it, but he knows, he's like, yeah, dude, get the fuck over it. Get the fuck over it. So the second time he said that to me, first time was with one of my last girlfriends, who basically ghosted me after 7 years.
But I can't say that I wouldn't be in the same position, but I'm not the same human being, so I can say that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so I'll just get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Let it go.
It's hard, but you can do it. I wouldn't say necessarily it's hard with the say when people, but with a relationship, it's definitely hard.
I don't know, man. Letting go of that relationship was easier than say when, to be honest with you.
Was it really?
Yeah, because it was like...
I mean, she was pretty shitty for you.
Well, and there was still communication. Not only did she talk to me, but then her new man, not really my old friend. I didn't really think the guy had good morals or character. So I was in close proximity to him, but I would never consider him my friend. I believe he still has charges for being the getaway driver and a murder of a young woman or something. So it's like
crazy.
Yeah. So I always kept him at arm's length anyways, and he was with my girlfriend at the time. He was with her best friend. He was like, they were together. So, but yeah, I mean, even he messaged me and was like, hey, I thought, she told me you guys weren't together for the last 2 years and I didn't know, and da-da-da. And it's like, okay, well, then that's how you're starting your relationship, is on a broken foundation. I get it. That's how she did it with me. You're just the new Alex. I was the new Griffin. And that's just the way it is, And so I was able to get more understanding. And then, just seeing her sister's reaction to it and the way her sister's tune changed towards me. I can tell, from the story she was told, her sister didn't really like me at first, but then her sister seemed to actually like me as a person. But I don't know, maybe not. But so that was actually easier because there was communication and dialogue. Not at first, it was shut down and don't talk to me for a while. But then it was it opened up a little bit more, where I still never got any information or explanation from her, or any closure whatsoever, besides I need to stop living a double life and just being a cheater. So besides that, I didn't get anything else, but that was enough for me. And that communication was still there. So it was say when is actually harder, because the psychotic level of no contact, no communication, except for sending people screenshots and talking talking poorly about me to the point where I have over 50, 60 people messaging me, showing me like, hey, this is what he said, this is what he sent me, you know, and it was just like, whoa. Like,
Right.
he won't talk to me, but he's like trashing me to everybody he knows. Like,
Yeah, it was pretty shitty.
so, but yeah, so you're right though. I just got to get the fuck over it. I'm going to get over it right now. I'm going to make sure I'm done with it. I'm going to release it. I forgive everybody. I'll let it all go. You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you. Thank you for that reflection. Of
course.
I needed that today.
There you go.
But guys, you know, we're just trying to do a more relaxed setup. Maybe next episode we'll talk about like some of the breaking news stuff going on, some of the crazy developments in our world.
Cool stuff.
I think we're going to see some big changes over the next couple of years. So,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
See you later.